Ladies and gentlemen, as tradition demands, up first is the lighting of the traditional oil lamp. And for this, I cordially invite first the chief guest of today's event, Mr. Shehan Sumanasekara, the Director, Chief Operations at the Airport and Aviation Services of Sri Lanka. To all the dignitaries who assisted in the lighting of the traditional oil lamp. Ladies and gentlemen, you may now take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Gates once said, "The Wright brothers created the single greatest cultural force since the invention of writing. The airplane became the first World Wide Web, bringing people, languages, ideas, and values together." And it is to this industry that the graduating batch of 2022 from the Millennium College of Aviation Studies will be entering into, the business of bringing people, ideas, and languages together. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and a very warm welcome out to each and every one of you, and welcome to the inaugural graduation ceremony of the Millennium College of Aviation Studies. Today is a very special day, especially to the graduating batch of 2022. It's also a very special day for the management and the staff and all the affiliate members of the Millennium College of Aviation Studies, because this is the very first graduating batch of the Millennium College of Aviation Studies. And already the prospects that are available to students graduating into the industry are on the horizon, and your names will go down in the history of the Millennium College of Aviation Studies. Your names will be written in their Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, given the importance of today's event, there are a few guidelines that I will lay down, and we expect that everybody present here today will adhere by them, so that this evening will continue to be a memorable one and an uninterrupted one as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we kindly request everybody to either switch off your phones, or if you do have some important calls coming in, to at least leave your phones on silent. Also, if you have any children, any underage children in your care, we request that you attend to them as and when needed. Also, given the situation in the country, of course, the situation now is a little bit better than what was, but in the event that we suffer any power outages, we do sincerely hope that you will bear with us. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, to begin today's events formally and to welcome everybody present here today formally on behalf of the management of the Millennium College of Aviation Studies, I warmly welcome and invite onto the podium Mr. Abdullah Al-Selhi, the founder and managing director of the Millennium College of Aviation Studies.
Good evening, everyone. Aviation, as quoted by Etty Rickenbacker, aviation is proof that given the will, we have the capacity to achieve the impossible. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to all of you, and thank you for making it here today despite the challenges. To our chief guest, Mr. Shehan Sumanasekara, our special guest, Mr. Alagan Kanagaratnam, our lecturers, graduates, students, parents, our team members, and our well-wishers. Welcome to Millennium College of Aviation Studies' first ever graduation ceremony. It is indeed a pleasure to be here with all of you this pleasant evening. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, several aviation educational establishments halted operations, downscaled their offerings, or closed down. However, here at Millennium College of Aviation Studies, quite funnily, yet strategically, we incorporated and commenced our operations at the peak of COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, many laughed at us and criticized us. However, despite the challenges and obstacles, we still decided to enter the market due to our complete confidence in the quick and ultimate recovery of the aviation industry, which we are currently seeing as we speak. We predicted the need for a fresh new graduates of trained and qualified aviation professionals, and we also observed a slow yet gradual change in the way that airlines and airports recruit their employees. Now, several organizations make it a habit, a preference, or a requirement to recruit aviation professionals that are equipped with either an aviation diploma or an aviation management degree, with the possibility that those with a diploma or a degree might be better equipped to face future challenges that the industry constantly faces. This is a very tough industry to operate in. We always go through a lot of obstacles and challenges, such as the pandemic, any future pandemics, we hope not, wars, economic crisis, fuel price fluctuations, operational challenges, and intense competition, as well as technological advancements. Given such requirements, and given the fact that there's a huge lack of aviation education pathways and options in Sri Lanka, we decided that we have a vision to accomplish, which is advancing aviation education in Sri Lanka. And on that basis, we decided to collaborate with one of the top leading universities in Malaysia, Lincoln University College, Malaysia. Together with Lincoln University College, Malaysia, we are immensely proud to announce that we have begun to accomplish our vision, and that is by launching the BBA, the Bachelor of Business Administration in Airline and Airport Management. Ladies and gentlemen, today we make history by graduating the very first Aviation Management Degree batch in Sri Lanka. I kindly request the audience to stand up and give a huge round of applause for the graduates as they are making history today. Thank you, everyone. You may have a seat now. At Millennium College of Aviation Studies, we have come a very long way in all aspects, in our program offerings, our experience in the market, our student development, industry connections, sourcing the best of the best lecturers, as you can see here today, closely working with other aviation organizations, and doing a lot of corporate social responsibility to give back to our community, as well as we are heavily investing in program innovation to launch shorter aviation professional programs, as well as program diversification, and expanding our partnerships to greater horizons. Most of all, today we are highly proud due to the immense level of customer service, support, and guidance extended to our students. We have always been flexible where possible while maintaining strict quality and benchmarking the aviation industry from day one. I hope the students agree with us on this. Graduation is such an important milestone for graduates and their families as well. And we congratulate you all on your achievements. The completion of your degree is a great personal accomplishment and is also a milestone shared not only by you, but your parents, spouse, siblings, and any friends that have helped you throughout the journey. Millennium College of Aviation Studies, management, staff, lecturers, and our partner Lincoln University College, Malaysia, are extremely proud of your achievements and wish you a high-flying career. Your learning never stops. You must always have the discipline to learn, and lifelong learning is no longer a concept, but it's rather a reality. It is very important and a high aspect of this industry to continuously learn and develop yourself and keep yourself updated with the industry trends. But also remember, for an aviation professional, it is not his or her degree, certificate, or license that make you an aviation professional. It is their personality, passion, knowledge, attitude, the eye for detail, planning, safety, time management, and overall professional discipline that makes you an aviation professional. A final piece of advice I can give all of you today is always remember to plan ahead of time. Most of you who know me would know that I love planning ahead of time. Please plan your days, weeks, months, years if you can ahead. And don't just be ahead of the competition, but also be ahead of yourself. To our graduates, Maisha, Lester, Hiroshika, Heshan, Demindi, Bhatia, Migara, Niranjan, Nitarshan, Tilanka, Tufkan, and in absence, Manusha and Migara. Thank you for placing your trust, effort, time, and money with us. And congratulations and all the very best to your future endeavors. To our lecturers, whom we wouldn't be here without today, and these students wouldn't be graduating without you, Mr. Tishan, Ms. Roshan, Captain Amin, Ms. Lakshi, and in absence, Captain Mahen, Dr. Tiwanka, Mr. Tiwanka. Thank you very much for all you have done, for your time, effort, service to educate, inspire, and groom our students into the next generation of aviation professionals. To our partner university, with thanks to Dr. Amir Bomik, Vice Chancellor of Lincoln University College, thank you for your patience, guidance, trust, and helping us establish to where we are today. To our well-wishers and supporters, including but not limited to Mr. Al-Selhi, Mrs. Ibrahim, Mr. Athapattu, Mr. Ashmal, Mr. Kalpage, Mr. Azir, Mr. Osanda, Ms. Vijayani, Ms. Avanti, and Mr. and Mrs. Kanagaratnam, and Mr. and Mrs. Shamit, thank you for your unconditional love and support. To our incredible and dynamic young team, motivated team members Raneesha, Sudeshika, Firdoshia, Kasun, Buddhika Dulanja, and Buddhika Madhushan, and Shehan, thank you for putting in all the tireless work and effort to bring us to where we are currently today, and for always being ready to overcome any challenges and any obstacles that we are facing or might face in the future. I once again thank all of our stakeholders seated here today, not including but not limited to our supporters, our lecturers, graduates, parents, and supporters. We wouldn't be here without all of you. So thank you very much for supporting us and being with us since day one. We are indeed very lucky to be here. Thanks to you. Finally, to many more years of advancing aviation education in Sri Lanka and soon globally. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abdullah Al-Selhi, for that fitting welcome speech for the inaugural graduation of the Millennium College of Higher Education. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, it's been a long and tough time, not only for the graduates here as far as studying at the Millennium College of Higher Aviation Studies goes, but as part of being in Sri Lanka during this time of crisis. Many people have made sacrifices. I'm pretty sure the statements made by Mr. Abdullah during his welcome speech made that clear as to how much of time and effort went in on the part of the administration and the staff, and also on the part of the students. So there is a lot of gratitude to go around from the staff to the students, students to the staff. A lot of connections were made during the years that you studied at the Millennium College of Aviation Studies. And we have provided for some reminiscing in these memories and some gratitude to be expressed. And I cordially invite now to the stage Mr. Lester De Alvis, a student of the graduating batch of 2022, to deliver an address conveying, of course, the gratitude that he has on behalf of the graduating batch of 2022. The stage is all yours.
A very good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to address this esteemed gathering this evening, who has come to share with us our joy and happiness after years of research and study to achieve our ambitions. I welcome you all, and I hope you feel as proud as I am to be a part of this great institution, the Millennium College of Aviation Studies. I would like to start by saying congratulations to the graduating class of 2022 who are gathered here in this evening. On behalf of the graduating students of MCAS, I would like to thank all the parents, spouses, families, friends, and who encouraged and supported us as who we work towards our graduate degrees. I also seize this opportunity to extend our deep gratitude and appreciation to the Managing Director, Mr. Abdullah Al-Selhi, and Head of Academics, Ms. Raneesha Athapattu, and all of the academic staff members. They have facilitated our study and served as our instructors, mentors, and friends. A big thank you to all the staff members of MCAS who always seem to be there whenever help was needed. I'm very grateful that MCAS has taken major steps to support and facilitate the first and only aviation college to provide an aviation degree in Sri Lanka. I believe that in not so long, MCAS will find its deserved place among other developed universities in Sri Lanka that offers a recognized degree in aviation. Despite all the challenges we started facing in 2020, MCAS has provided us all with a marvelous cosmopolitan environment where students from different nations and countries are learning together and are sharing their interests, cultures, and experiences. And I applaud the MCAS for its dedication to nurturing the system despite all the barriers we face today. So, graduates, today is the culmination of what I'm sure has been a challenging and hopefully also an enriching experience. I'm certain that for my fellow graduates, there have been times of stress, occasions that have put us away out of comfort zones, and perhaps the occasional moments of panic and some extremely great range of emotions. Relief that we have made it, pride in our abilities, a sense of reward in recognition of our new qualification, and perhaps also a sense of excitement and expectation as we think ahead to the next leg of our journey, what adventures and opportunities that will bring. And for the parents who accompany us today on this happy day, we thank you. Your presence in this ceremony and our life is what we call a blessing. To have amazing parents is everything we could ask for. Your physical and emotional support pushes us to be better and better. We are happy to be here, not only for the sake of our happiness. We are happy because today we can make you smile, and with pride to see us standing here and ready to tackle any challenges that may come upon us. So, as the batch of 2022 is signing out, I would like to conclude by offering a piece of advice to today's achievements may fade, but you will always be remembered for the moments in which you were a caring person, for helping someone, for making someone feel special and appreciated, and for being that person that others enjoy spending time with. So may your careers, but more importantly your lives, be filled with all satisfaction and joy that life has to offer. And may all your dreams come true, and I have no doubt that you will rise any challenge that will come your way. So I think that's all that I can say in this blessed opportunity. We are here not only because of our efforts alone, but we are also able to stand here with the help of many people who love and genuinely care about us. For that, we thank you, and may God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lester de Alves. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, of course, this is the epitome of today's celebrations. We are all gathered here today to celebrate the graduating batch of 2022 from the Millennium College of Aviation Studies. And this is the moment where we all will be able to see them receive that degree, that award on this stage, where they will be felicitated for all their hard work that they've put in throughout the years. Ladies and gentlemen, and for this moment, I cordially invite onto the stage the chief guest of today's event, Mr. Shehan Sumanasekara, and also Ms. Raneesha Athapattu to assist in the awarding of these graduate certificates. Ladies and gentlemen, the first graduate to receive the BBA in Airline and Airport Management Degree from the Millennium College of Aviation Studies batch of 2022. Mr. Kodithuakku Bhathia. Miss Demindi Taruki Vatalava. Mr. Valisingha Chamod Silva. Miss Hiroshika Sivananthan. Mr. Lester Harsha Dialvis. Miss Fatmat Maisha. Mr. Migara Samuel Fernando. Mr. Niranjan Dinesh Kure. Mr. Nadaraja Nitarshan. Mr. Tilanka Lakshan Rodrigo. Mr. Rafiuddin Mohammad Tufkan. Thank you very much to our chief guest as well as his escort for assisting us in distributing these certificates. And congratulations to the graduating batch of the Millennium College of Aviation Studies for the year 2020. Well, this is just a stepping stone, the beginning of your careers. You have your entire future ahead of you. We've got many distinguished guests here present here today to, of course, felicitate you on this very special day. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the very special guests present here today is none other than Mr. Alagan Kanagaratnam. He is the Managing Director of Inspiring Development Solutions Sri Lanka and is a former Emirates Training and Development Manager. Mr. Kanagaratnam has served for over 43 years in the aviation industries, and he has worked for 30 years in Emirates Airline and has trained over 1,000 aviation professionals. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that right, trained over 1,000 aviation personnel. He is highly committed to developing and uplifting the next generation of aviation professionals, and he is also a collaborative partner with the Millennium College of Aviation Studies in jointly delivering training programs that meet the industry demands as well as the global industry standards. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now take this opportunity to invite Mr. Alagan Kanagaratnam to address the audience and, of course, inspire the graduating batch of the year 2022 of the Millennium College of Aviation Studies.
This is somebody else's speech, I guess. I'm very, very glad to be in the presence of all of you today. Today, we have Mr. Shehan Sumanasekara, who is the Director of Airport and Aviation Services Sri Lanka Limited, Private Limited. And it is glad to have him observe the graduation ceremony today, because he could be a potential employer of you tomorrow. Because, because aviation today in Sri Lanka needs competent, qualified, and enthusiastic people. And what does MCAS, or the Millennium College of Aviation Studies, do? They are engaged in developing and delivering aviation studies in a very professional and quality conscious manner. And that is the reason why I am partnering with Millennium College of Aviation Studies, Mr. Abdullah Al-Selhi, and the head of academics, Ms. Raneesha Athapattu, and also Sudeshika, who had been a backbone, as well as Firdushia, had been supporting the quality consciousness of the organization and getting every individual to follow high standards. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to have 10, 11 people, 50 people, just like a sausage machine qualifying, carrying the degree or the diploma. We want to develop quality manpower, because aviation in Sri Lanka as well as in globally, we are in need of a great manpower, which actually fills the vacuum created by so many people leaving, the professional people leaving organizations recently. And also a special word of thanks to the faculty members. I know it is not an easy job to be teaching you guys, I'll tell you. Because you are very, very challenging. You ask questions, you challenge the facilitators, and that is a very good quality, because you keep on keeping the facilitators on their toes. And these facilitators also bring quite a lot of experience and expertise from their previous workplaces, and there are some emerging people as well into aviation, because they know the current reality very well. So you were very glad to be in associating the faculty members. And the parents and the family, you have had a tough time, because whenever you ask them to do something at home, no mama, I'm going to do my studies, was your excuse. Guys, starting from today, you need to get involved with the homework, housework as well. So the parents and the siblings have actually committed quite a lot of time and effort in making you where you are there today. And the graduates, it is now that you are graduated, you graduates, you have played a very, very important role in getting to the level that you are in. And for a moment, don't think that this is the end of your studies. You may have finished your study as per the degree today or a few days back, but your learning starts today. This is where your learning is going to happen, because everything that you have learned during this period, over the past 2-3 years period, now you have to put this learning into practice. You have got to be, I will be talking about 4 key points for you to take home. Start that learning process now. Every time you see a situation in the media or in any other research paper as to what the airports are facing, the challenges the airlines are facing, you need to be very, very familiar with what is going on. You need to start applying the learning that you have had into whatever the situation that is happening in the world today. That is one take-home thing for you. Don't think that I have finished my study, I've got my degree. Now, starting from now onwards, you have to start, applying your learning into the real situations that the country is facing, globally the aviation is facing. And then don't keep quiet. Don't keep quiet. Like once you have got your degree and the qualification, don't just keep quiet. Don't just frame it up and keep it on the wall. You now need to market yourself. Before you market yourself, look at your social media. Does your social media LinkedIn profile show professional outlook, or is it just another social kind of a thing? You need to now relook at how you project yourself in the market. Because every time I look for a manpower, I look for someone, I straight away look at their social, how do they represent themselves in the social media. So therefore your profile needs to be cleaned up and you need to be looking very professional. You can have some other private thing to keep your jokes and the politics, etc. Now you need to be looking at, projecting yourself as professionals. You now need to start contributing to what is happening in Sri Lanka as well as in the world. So that's your second take home. Market yourself, be known. Be known, because now you have got something to, carry forward. So be known, talk to people, network with people, get to know people so that you will be known. So whenever there's a need, people will start thinking about you. So market yourself. LinkedIn profile, look at your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn photograph that you have on the page and brush up what you have written, and so that you project a greater image. Always look for solutions. Okay, that's one reason why you were here today, little while ago, because Millennium College of Aviation Studies look for solution, not to be settled down to the problems that we were having as a country. They looked at what is happening. COVID happened, economic downturn happened, everything happened, but they realized that they need to move ahead, go forward. So therefore, Millennium College of Aviation Studies and the team, they always look for solutions. So be a person who brings solutions, not problems. Because when you work for an organization, they are looking for people who are solution providers, not the problem, people who bring problems to the workplace. I'm sure even in the industry today, airports and airlines, they look for people who can provide solutions. Because somebody spoke to me couple of years ago, saying there's no point in working over here, sir. You don't get promoted, you don't get any, progress in. And then when I started to talk to them, I realized why that was happening. Because they were great in communicating their problems, but they were not looking for solution. I, as a manager, the people over here, as owners of organization, we are looking for people who bring solutions, not to thrive on problems. So that's the third point. And I keep on hearing, they are not, Sri Lankan is not recruiting, Airport and Aviation Services is not recruiting, other airlines are not recruiting. This is something that I keep on hearing. You have invested your time and money to educate yourself, not to just serve Sri Lanka. You have to develop, you need to prepare for the global market. Don't only look at what is happening in Sri Lanka. And with this qualification, it is not only the airports that you will be looking at, it's not only the airlines that you will be looking at. There's a cargo industry, thriving cargo industry. There are tourism industry. So therefore, there's also, if you can look at the scope, a wider scope, and also prepare yourself for the global market. Because having worked in the Middle East for almost 38 years and 30 years with Emirates. And now the recruitment strategy is also different. In addition to your aviation studies and technical qualifications, they are also looking at your soft skills, competencies, recently, I was very happy, one of the ministers talking about soft skills, competencies, because these are the words that they were never heard few years ago. Now people are talking about how do you develop yourself, because you need to be fitting into international area. If you work for my colleague over here, works for Emirates, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, and 6 months, 7 months with them recently, yeah. Yeah, and therefore over there he's working with about 150 or different nationalities. And he can't thrive, he can't progress in that nationality with just the Sri Lankan mentality. He has to have an international mentality. And that is the reason why such people will progress in life and in their careers. These are the few hints and tips that I would like to give you, because these are the things that has helped me in my career in progressing. So anybody, I offer to Mr. Abdullah, in case you want any kind of a guidance and support, you're welcome to talk to Mr. Abdullah or Raneesha, and we are happy to guide you going forward. Your learning with the college does not end today, and it is a partnership. We want you to be part of our, community, so that, we want to support you anytime that you need any help and guidance. We are happy to provide you with that. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Congratulations to these boys and girls. And we'd like to see you in many places in the future. And if there's anything that we can do, we will support you. Thank you very much, and good day to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kanagaratnam, for those inspiring words. Of course, words of advice not only for people here, but maybe for a few people in Parliament as well, because what you said about people finding solutions, or people who can bring solutions to the table instead of problems, I believe we need more of them in Parliament as well, so that Sri Lanka can come out of this crisis. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, up next is a little bit of an entertainment item. It's a Kandyan dance, a traditional dance, not something new to us, but let's see what they've got in store for us. Moving on in today's agenda, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce our chief guest, of course, a person who does not need an introduction because, of course, his reputation precedes him, but because not giving an introduction to the chief guest would be remiss on my part, I will read the following. Mr. Shehan Sumanasekara is the Director and Chief Operations at the Airport and Aviation Services, Sri Lanka. Airport and Aviation Services Limited, Sri Lanka, is the main organization that owns, manages and develops civil airports, such as the Bandaranaike International Airport in Sri Lanka. His diversified portfolio covers industries such as aviation, oil and gas, shipping and logistics, coal, chemicals and bituminous products, manufacturing, and also a commercially rated pilot, holding a commercial pilot license from the Federal Aviation Administration, the United States of America. Sir, you have come here despite your busy schedule and at a very trying time for the country. And we are, of course, privileged and honored to have you present here with us today at the inaugural graduation ceremony of the batch of 2022 for the Millennium College of Aviation Studies. Sir, since you would be a prospective employer of maybe one or hopefully more of the graduates here at the Millennium College of Aviation Studies, your input on how these young graduates should proceed in the aviation industry would undoubtedly be invaluable to all of them. And as such, we kindly invite you on stage to impart your wisdom upon these young graduates.
Good evening to all. Thank you, first of all, Millennium Aviation College, for inviting me for this great gathering. I think I'm humbled and honored to be a part and amongst such great veterans in the aviation industry, starting with Mr. Kanagaratnam. We have Roshan, some known faces that I have. I think is amazing to be a part of this group today, and thank you very much for inviting me. For the graduates, congratulations. I assure you, you have embarked on a really great journey. One of the most dynamic industries in the world today, aviation. I welcome all of you with great gratitude. Welcome. Since I represent the Sri Lankan government, and we also we are part of the aviation industry, managing the airports. We have 5 airports in the country today. I thought I should give a bit of a brief about what we do, how the airports operate for our young graduates today who are present here to have a input and start probably strategizing their way towards possible avenues of employment in the aviation industry. So as you all already know, Airport and Aviation, I think there was a misconception. Let me clear this first. When we talk about aviation in Sri Lanka, a lot of people think automatically Sri Lankan Airlines is part of aviation. They manage aviation, or maybe civil aviation, no. So we have 3 entities in Sri Lanka, mainly starting with Civil Aviation Authority, which is a regulatory body backed by the guidelines of civil aviation ICAO regulations worldwide. So civil aviation basically brings down as a regulatory authority, is the authority in the country which basically gives all the guidelines to the airports and the airlines, how should they operate in the country. Then we have Airport and Aviation, which I represent. Airport and Aviation, of course, is an operator, owning and operating all the airports in Sri Lanka. How many of you know how many international airports we have? Anyone? Okay, so we have 5 international airports, namely Bandaranaike International Airport, Mattala Rajapaksa. Then we have Batiklo, Ratmalana, and Jaffna. Of course, it's only 2 airports which we operate currently as international airports, which is Bandaranaike International Airport, as you all know, the main gateway to the country, and then Mattala Rajapaksa International Airport, which obviously had kind of an open, start-stop kind of a scenario starting from 2013. Then, of course, we have a general aviation airport, which is Ratmalana. Just a bit about what we do at the airport, and I thought I would share some stats and information so that when you go home today, you take this information as well, because this day and age, I believe information is knowledge. When you have the right information, you can do wonders. So this is my mantra. This is part of my personal success, which I gather a lot of information, and that's how I navigate through whatever that I do. Our airports, obviously, pre-pandemic, was a facilitator of about 30,000 passenger movements in Sri Lanka. This was pre-2020, March, actually. We had about 30,000 passenger movements in and out of our airports. We had about 190 aircraft movements at Bandaranaike International Airport. These numbers obviously put us in the medium to small to medium scale airports in the world. We talk about Gatwick International, we talk about London Heathrow. We have about 600 aircraft movements within 24 hours. So we are doing about 1/3 of that well, not today, but pre-pandemic, we were doing about 190 movements. Of course, with the pandemic, things, the airline industry especially, and the tourism industry was brought to its knees. All of you know that. All of you have seen all the news articles, everything which is running around. Especially with Sri Lanka, we had a very terrible time facing this. And at airport, along with my chairman, Mr. Major General G.H. Chandrasiri, who is our chairman today, we made a plan basically to recover the airport within 2 years. And I believe we are on track, except a few glitches, which is obvious with the economic crisis, as our great friend here mentioned. So when you talk about recovery, when we initially planned during pandemic, I think some of the airlines, maybe some of the airline representatives are here. They would obviously know about this. When the pandemic happened, many international airlines, many international airports around the world started laying off employees. A lot of people lost jobs. A lot of pilots lost jobs. A lot of terminal supervisors, terminal employees lost jobs at the airports. Of course, there was a pent-up demand expected. We were talking about all this with the airports, airlines, and we did not expect a recovery within 2 years, though. So as you may see today in news, if you look at London Heathrow, there are huge delays. There are airline problems. There are airline queues. There are airport queues everywhere. People are finding it hard to get from place to place. It's all because of the pent-up demand, which was not expected this soon. So once the airlines and the airports laid off the employees, things became very difficult for us to manage back. Good thing for Sri Lanka is we never laid off anybody here in Sri Lanka. I think even the Airport and Aviation never did. Airline, yes, they had to. Maybe very small number of employees were laid off, or rather the people who were on contract staff were laid off. However, we managed this whole pandemic during these 2 years without laying off a single employee in Sri Lanka. So I think that was a great start for us when we look at the recovery, because we are at the place that we started in 2020 March rather, when the pandemic started. So for us, it was not a great difficulty managing this. However, we still see a reduction in passengers in the country. As you may know, we are at about 50% of what we used to have pre-pandemic. As I said, 30,000 passengers. We are today experiencing about 15,000 passenger movements here in Sri Lanka. So we have a long way to go. I think we are making plans. We have spoken with a lot of embassies, high commissions, a lot of states. We're trying to basically develop tourism. We are having talks with the tourism ministry on a very regular basis. We have stakeholder meetings to basically uplift the country's image from what it has fallen to. That becomes our primary role. So I think looking at the larger picture, Sri Lanka should be aiming, I think I've discussed this many times with my staff at Airport and Aviation, the officials and even our ministers, the higher ranks in the country, that Sri Lanka should aim to have at least 90 to 100 airlines patronizing our country. Unfortunately, we only have 35 airlines patronizing Sri Lanka for the past so many years. This, of course, is due to many reasons, which I'm not going to share here now. However, if we are to be a competitive destination, we are greatly located. strategically located in the world map. However, we are not attracting the benefits out of it. So I think if we are to basically catapult to the next level in tourism and aviation, which goes hand in hand, I think our very first thing that we must really concentrate on is increasing the number of airlines to the country. And how do we do that? That is, of course, by increasing the service levels within the country and the infrastructure for the tourism and the airports. So we have embarked on a journey, as you all may know. We are expanding our terminal at Bandar Naik International Airport to 15 million capacity airport terminal. Currently, the airport terminal is only 6 million. We have, this is an old airport, we built it in 1970s, I think, to be precise, 1970s approximately. And it has been operating for almost now 50 years. So now we have just embarked on this great journey in basically developing our Terminal 2 project. And we were anticipating this to finish in about 1.5 years from now, unfortunately, due to the pandemic again, and the crisis that we are seeing today. That deadline has gone to about 3 years from today. Unfortunate, but we will achieve it somehow. So that once that Terminal 2 comes in to the industry, I think all the stakeholders will enjoy a great facility. This is going to be one of the state-of-the-art terminals. If you may, since everybody, always the industries and Sri Lankans, we have this tendency of comparing Sri Lanka to many other destinations and says, wow, look at that destination, why can't we be that? So at the airport, we have done that. Terminal 2 is going to be state-of-the-art. It will be second to none. You talk about Dubai, you talk about Singapore. It will have all those facilities, and it's going to be one of the best terminals coming up in the next 2 to 3 years in this region. Without taking much time, I would also like to say global aviation is actually on a very aggressive route right now. They're really doing extremely well when it comes to passengers, when it comes to the airlines, where the fleet expansions are happening. There's rapid growth in numbers. As I said, the pent-up demand has kicked in. Although Sri Lanka is yet to see this demand, worldwide there is a lot of opportunity. There is around 5,000 international airlines in the world, if you really check this out. ICAO codes, airlines with ICAO codes registered, there are 5,000 international airlines around the world. There are over 15,000 international airports around the world, majority being in the United States of America. But together in the world, there is about 15,000 airports. The opportunity is immense. As Mr. Kanagaratnam said, Sri Lanka is obviously the first choice for you, and should be. But out there in the world, the aviation industry is an evolving industry. There's so many things happening every day in, day out. A lot of airports now are planning net zero. Many of you would have heard about net zero and what's happening. Sri Lankan airports have just started embarking on it. It's going to be a very tough achievement for us, but we will at least try. That's our goal. We want to basically be there when it comes, the deadlines 2040 to 2050, we will be there halfway even. That's what we have planned as the Airport and Aviation, because we want to be on par with all the trends internationally, right? What happens is Sri Lanka generally has managed to, in my personal opinion, not my official opinion, this is my personal opinion, I think we have managed to somehow or other scrape through. Period by period, we have done what we can, but now it's time with young graduates like you coming up. The opportunity is immense. The capacity of all you guys, I know, I'm sure, with these great personalities teaching you and guiding you, I'm very positive that the young generation of Sri Lanka can catapult Sri Lanka to the next level, just like Dubai, just like Singapore. This is what we want, and I think we are on the right track. One of the things that I was very specific about today, I wanted to tell you guys, is the fact that I sit in a lot of interview boards, interview panels at the Airport and Aviation. We have at least 50, 60 applicants for a position coming in. We are very happy to see all of them, the enthusiasm. We are very happy to see all of them. And during interview, what we see is the fact that many of them are very, very well educated. Very well educated. They are sometimes their qualifications does not even match the positions that they come into because they are so well educated. They have double honors to double degrees, you name it, they got it all. But the most important thing that I find hard to find in that group of people who come in, this is, I think you can take a page out, take a leaf out of this, is the fact that we find it so hard to find people who have subject knowledge. Now, this becomes key for certain areas at Airport and Aviation. So, when I assumed the job at Airport Aviation as director, board member, and operations chief at Airport, what I found is there are many people who are experienced, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. However, subject knowledge is very minimal. Their capacity levels are very minimal. I'm not running down my own people. They are very hardworking guys at the airport. I know that day in, day out. Through the pandemic, we did a lot of work, and I think partly, just like the health industry, we should be thankful to Airport Aviation and the staff who really did a great job by segregating the passengers during the COVID time, so I'm thankful to them. However, the capacity and the knowledge that requires to execute these intricate positions, intricate processes at the airport is lacking in Sri Lanka. So I'm really happy to, when Abdullah and Raneesha came and met us at the airport, I was really happy to know that there is a degree program here in Sri Lanka where people can join in and educate themselves and have that knowledge which they can bring into places like Airport Aviation, places like Sri Lankan Airlines, places like Civil Aviation Authority, or the other airlines which are present here, which obviously are finding local talent for their processes to be done at our airports. This is a great stepping stone. So I was very, very happy to hear what they were doing, and I did not expect to be here today. They invited me for the function. I'm very humbled, and I think you guys have chosen the right industry to be in. As I said, y'all are taught by some of the veterans in the industry, and I think the future is great. Sri Lanka, although we are facing some troubles right now, I'm very, very positive that we are going to be coming out of this problem very soon. In the industry, we are resilient. Sri Lankans always have been resilient, and I'm sure all of us will strive hard to get out of this problem. And I hope I see all these faces someday in Airport or Sri Lankan or any other airline, all the graduates. I wish you all the best. And I will leave you with just a very small quote by Henry Ford. Just remember this quote whenever you're going through a hard time in aviation or industry or your personal life. This is something that I always, when I was a kid, when I was flying in USA, Dallas, all alone, I used to love my father and mother, just like all you guys. I missed them when I was flying in USA. However, one thing I always kept in mind was Mr. Henry Ford's quote. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that an aircraft takes off against the wind and not with it. I hope all of you take this into your heart and soul and join us in developing Sri Lankan aviation in the future. We have a long way to go. The young generation is just taking up the country in the future, and I invite you all to be a part of our great aviation industry here in Sri Lanka. I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Many thanks, of course, to our chief guest, Mr. Shehan Sumanasekara, for those very, very inspiring words. Today was dedicated to felicitate the graduating batch of 2020 at the Millennium College of Aviation Studies. Well, of course, there are those who came out on top of the graduating batch of 2020. And this is the moment to felicitate those select few from the graduating batch of 2022 of Millennium College of Aviation Studies. And to do that, I cordially invite on stage Mr. Abdullah and Ms. Raneesha to hand over this award for Best Performer and, of course, the valedictorian of the year 2020-22. Ladies and gentlemen, the Best Performer Award is presented to a selected student who, in every step of the way, has proven progression in building confidence, willingness to correct his mistakes, respect the institution, perfect attendance, and improved their skills since day one. And of course, the valedictorian award is presented to the highest academic achieving student. Ladies and gentlemen, first, the award for Best Performer. The Best Performer Award at the graduating ceremony of 2022 of the Millennium College of Aviation Studies is awarded to Nadaraja Nitarshan. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as was said before, the highest academic achieving student will be awarded or will be felicitated on stage as the valedictorian. And in my days as a Master of Ceremonies, I've seen a few of these very rare occasions, but it is extremely rare for this kind of an occurrence to take place at the inaugural graduating ceremony of any university, because, ladies and gentlemen, there are two members of the graduating batch of the year 2022 who will be receiving the award for valedictorian this year. Ladies and gentlemen, the first of those to be felicitated and receive the award of valedictorian for the graduating batch of 2022 at the Millennium College of Aviation Studies, Miss Demindi Vathalava. Also receiving the valedictorian award of the graduating batch of 2022 of the Millennium College of Aviation Studies, Miss Fatmat Maisha. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdullah and Ms. Raneesha, for assisting us in presenting those awards. Ladies and gentlemen, the traditional valedictorian speech is up next. I take this opportunity to invite Ms. Demindi Vathalave to share her experience on how she made it to the top of the graduating batch of 2022 of the Millennium College of Aviation Studies.
Distinguished guests, dear parents, family members, and our lovely panel of lecturers, and Millennium College Aviation Studies Management team, and my fellow classmates. A very good evening to you all. Recalling the past year that we spent with MCAS, we studied in an environment we had never been before. But we fought hard and worked hard, and we raced to the challenges which were before us. Today, as I see our class gathered here, it is a proof that we all succeeded. And with that, please allow me to say, congratulations, my fellow graduates. A job well done. Today is a day for celebration, a day to turn back momentarily, allowing a heartfelt joy to celebrate our achievements. From all of our team, from all the terms that used to describe a graduate, I would say which suits the most is a winner. Each and every one of us is a winner. We had demonstrated hard work, dedication, courage to take up any challenge which came on our way. We are graduating at a time in the history when the world is dealing with enormous challenges. But at a time when opportunities created by these challengers are countless. So let the knowledge that we gained throughout this time that we studied with MCAS, the knowledge that we gathered, be helpful, be used for the next threshold in our life, and may your enthusiasm in aviation takes you to new dimensions. As we recall our fond memories with MCAS, let us not forget those people who helped us throughout our time with the college. I thank MCAS for always being a very close place to our heart, with the distinguished board of lecturers, who I don't have words for, like knowledge in this room, like I cannot explain the amount of knowledge which is in this room. And of course, the Celis management team. I was left amazed by the impeccable support and guidance which was extended to our team by the MCAS administration. MCAS truly aced its games in choosing the most accomplished and experienced panel of lecturers, and I'm truly honored to be, as an aviation enthusiast, I'm truly amazed and honored to be under the guidance of this panel of lecturers. It was such a great pleasure to be a part of an institution that goes to great lengths in delivering excellence in everything they do, as well as in molding professionals, those suits the growing and advanced industry of aviation. Last but not least, dear parents, family members, and friends, thank you for never failing to support us in times of need and pushing us to reach the achievements that we have taken today. Armed with the skills and knowledge that we have gained, I can guarantee that we all are eager to tackle the next phase of our life. Whatever it might be, I know you are ready. So let me just remind you, don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most importantly, have the courage to follow your own intuition, because it is always correct. We do not need magic to change this world. We carry all the power that we need inside ourselves already. So have courage and have power and imagine a better future for us, for the industry, for our country, for the whole world itself. So, for a better future and for many more achievements, best of luck, my dear graduates, as well as best of luck, MCAS, our loved college. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the valedictorian address, ladies and gentlemen. The duty of a teacher are neither few nor small. They elevate the mind and give energy to character. The students of the graduating batch of 2022 at the inaugural graduating ceremony of Millennium College of Aviation Studies would not be here if not for an expert panel of lecturers. You were the people responsible for molding them. You were the people responsible for bringing them to this place, and you have accomplished that. Ladies and gentlemen, their contribution to the lives of these children will not go unforgotten. And to present a small token of appreciation for your time, your effort, your blood, sweat, and tears, I kindly call upon to the stage Miss Raneesha to present a few tokens of appreciation to the panel of lecturers at the Millennium College of Aviation Studies. For being a member of the panel of lecturers at the Millennium College of Aviation Studies and guiding the young graduates of the graduating batch of 2022 to where they are today. Your contribution is well appreciated by this small token of appreciation, Captain Mohammed Amin. Miss Lakshi Patma Peruma. Miss Roshane Seniviratna. Mr. Tishan Gunawardhana. A graduating ceremony is a day full of mixed emotion, a lot of happiness for concluding an academic degree, a lot of sadness for leaving those who were closest to your heart during your journey. There is a lot to be said and so little time to say it in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity for a member of the panel of lecturers to speak out their heart and, of course, address the gathering. Ladies and gentlemen, I cordially invite onto the stage a member of the panel of lecturers, Mr. Tishan Gunawardhana, the first lecturer at Millennium College of Aviation Studies, to speak on behalf of the lecturers.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, the chief guest, the board of directors and the management of Millennium College of Aviation Studies, the lecturers, graduates, and the parents. It's a very well privilege for me to have a speech regarding the lecture panel and as well as the students who had a journey with us in terms of their journey, in their bachelor's journey. To introduce myself again, I was one of their first lecturers to give out their first lectures in terms of their first joining to this college as Introduction to Aviation Management, if you guys can remember me. My name is Tishan Gunawardhana and I'm a lecturer and currently working for Emirates Airlines Dubai, based in Dubai as an airport services agent. First of all, it's a very well big congratulations for you for the very first batch. At the same time, you have made history for the college as well. I know you have been in a military background in terms of assignments, in terms of presentations, in terms of exams, and I know you hate Turnitin for the plagiarism, and Google as a copy Control-C and Control-V for copy and paste for your assignments. I'm just kidding, you guys are the best, yeah? So as the very first batch, you guys have been amazing. And at the same time, as a management, as representing the management as well as the students, we had a good rapport in between. We were friends, we were professional, and we helped each other in terms of lectures and in terms of other personal matters as well. Now let me focus something which is very important today, which is jobs. And as the parents who will be representing on the rear end of the audience, the parents' question will be, where are the jobs for my children? Even my parents had the same question when I chose aviation, because I came from an aviation background and I went to Malaysia for my bachelor's because Sri Lanka didn't had any courses of that type. So my mother's first question was, after the degree, what will you do? Will you join Sri Lankan Airlines? Or will you join Airport and Aviation? Or will you go with your dad in Dubai and join Emirates? Well, my question was, I'll start up my own airline. I was just kidding, but I didn't start any airline, but I told her, I'll start any airline. But I came down to Sri Lanka and I joined as a ticketing executive and I gained my careers and I joined a world-class airline as well. And then you know, the pandemic happens and I was one of the best staff to be laid off. And then I had my own business in Sri Lanka, which is just an online business, yeah? And then Mr. Abdullah, the Director of MCAS, invited me for lectures as well. By the time when I was doing lectures, I got an invitation from a major airline in Middle East, and then where I flew back to Dubai for my career. So that's one of the journeys which I had. So for the parents out there, yes, finding a job in aviation industry as of today, in the today's world, will be hard because of the pandemic. But they will do their best and eventually they will end up with a job in the industry. But it will take some time. Let them take time, and eventually they will end up with their jobs in the near future. In terms of the industry, so when it comes to the industry, I'll take some statistics. London Heathrow. London Heathrow had a pile of bags built up recently because of their staff and because of their peak in summer schedule. And at the same time, Emirates, my employer, so they had a new business promotion, which is premium economy. So when you take all these statistics into the industry, it clearly shows that the industry is coming back to its normal. So when the industry is coming back to the normal, the pre-pandemic, they need staff. So when you compare all these statistics, all this information, all these facts and figures, you can come into a conclusion that eventually you will end up with a job, and eventually you will end up with an airport or an airline, or starting up your own airline like Tony Fernandez. In terms of finding a job once again, as Mr. Aragan told you all, you need to market yourself. So the key or the two keys to market yourself is, in today's industry or in 21st industry, is building up your LinkedIn profile. Make sure you build up your LinkedIn profile as well as the resume. Because the world-class airlines or world-class airports or world-class companies, they had artificial intelligence in their recruitment campaigns. So when you upload a CV online, all these artificial intelligence, they catch up all the keywords in your resume, and if they doesn't match the job description, you will be rejected to that resume. So make sure your resume has specific job descriptions when you apply to any job role if you are planning to. So once you land with a job, you might not end up with a high salary like 100,000. Your salary will not be able to cover up your mobile bill even, but eventually you will end up with a salary which you can sustain or take over MCAS as well in the near future. At the same time, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a story. To end my speech, being the first very batch of graduates, you have been the best people who had a good rapport in between the management as well. Since you got the certificates, please enjoy with your families and friends because you guys deserve that as well. And make sure this can be a personal or a professional help. MCAS management and MCAS lecturers will be there for you in any assistance which you need. So to end my speech, please keep in mind that there's no limit in sky. So make sure you enjoy and make sure you soar up to the sky as well. At the same time, congratulations once again and God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, in this day and age in Sri Lanka, moving around is extremely hazardous. Traveling has become a near impossibility. There were many people who took time off their busy schedules to be present here today to inspire the graduating batch of 2022. And among them, the management and staff of Millennium College of Aviation Studies would like to show a special gratitude towards the chief guest and our special guest present here today for taking time off your busy schedules to be present here, and more importantly, spending that ever so precious fuel quota that you have to travel all the way to the BMICH. To present this token of appreciation, I cordially invite onto the stage Mr. Abdullah, if you could assist us. To receive the first token of appreciation, I cordially invite onto the stage the chief guest of today's event, Mr. Shehan Sumanasekara. I would also like to invite our special guest to receive a token of appreciation. He's none other than Mr. Alagan Kanagaratnam. We would also like to make a special mention of Dr. Roshan de Lima. He's the country head of Lincoln University College, Malaysia. He is unable to attend today's event due to unavoidable circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, all good things must come to an end. It's an age-old saying, but true to this very day. And as all good things come to an end, so is the graduation ceremony, or the inaugural graduation ceremony of the Millennium College of Aviation Studies. And to formally mark an end to the graduation ceremony, I cordially invite onto the stage Ms. Raneesha Athapattu to deliver the vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the General Manager and Head of Academics of Millennium College of Aviation Studies, I'd like to conclude today's proceedings with a few words to our audience and graduates. Firstly, to our audience, I'd like to extend a very hearty vote of thanks for being present here with us this evening. Thank you to the Chief Guest, Mr. Shehan, and our special guest, Mr. Carnegie, for welcoming us with open arms and for guiding us with your expertise. To the lecturers, thank you for taking a chance with us, despite us being new to the market. We are fortunate enough to be backed by a team of professionals who are very dedicated and motivated to execute the best for aviation. To the students, both graduating and current, thank you for trusting us with your education and for being patient with us as we all learned together. To the parents, spouses, and guests, thank you for supporting and encouraging your loved ones during the achievement of a milestone. To our partner, Lincoln University College, Malaysia, thank you for giving us a chance and the opportunity to make history in offering Sri Lanka's first aviation management degree. And thank you to the MCAS staff and our young supporters. Without you, this evening would not have run so smoothly. And lastly, Mr. Abdullah, founder and managing director of Millennium College of Aviation Studies. Thank you for leading us so fearlessly and for striving to bring your vision to life. And now, to our graduates. I'd like to have our graduates stand for this moment. Look how far you all have come. You spend hours studying online and staring at your screen for hours, and of course you all battled studying through a pandemic. Yet you all have so gracefully completed your studies and have now become Sri Lanka's first graduating batch with an aviation management degree. Congratulations. My advice to you is, don't stop here. Keep learning, not only about aviation, but about everything around you. Be curious and take risks. Open doors in life you haven't opened before, and learn from your failures. Always be optimistic, embrace opportunities, and enjoy what you do. And most importantly, take care of your health, both mentally and physically. Graduates, and now my fellow alumni of the Millennium College of Aviation Studies, congratulations. You may all raise your hats and wave it, please don't throw it, in celebration for this beautiful moment. Let's give them a round of applause. You all have worked so hard, and you deserve to be proud of this achievement. And do take this opportunity to celebrate with your loved ones. Thank you to all. Good luck and have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Raneesha Athapattu. Ladies and gentlemen, I kindly invite all of you to stand in attention for the national anthem.
Sri Lanka Mata, Appa Sri Lanka, Namo Namo.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a pleasant evening. Do stay safe. I'm Charlotte Benedict, and it's been a pleasure hosting you all.